sunshine is so heavenly. Oh, oh, oh. I feel it in my soul. Do you feel it in your soul? It's so big. It's so big. It's so big. Bingo day. Bingo day. Bingo day. Bingo. It's yo big day. Oh, ba 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 ba. Bum bum ba da bum 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 bum. It's your big day, yeah. It's your big day, yeah. It's your big day, yeah. Ha 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 ha. Hello, every. Did you catch that sunrise today? Oh my goodness. We are so sourced up. We are Woski. We are. It's the best day ever. Tribe. It's your big day. Yes. Ooh. Oh my. Yes, it is the biggest day there ever Was, yes indeed. Blessing up. The radio. Oh my, it's your big day. It's a beautiful day today. We are in love. We are ecstatically blissed out on a whole nother level. Yes, we are. Oh my goodness, can you believe how great of a day it is today? Can you believe? It's your big day. It's your big day. so excited to share with you our high vibe, happy boosting lifestyle configurations. These configurations are uber cool, and they actually are very functional in the grid. Have you set up your grid? Isn't it so nice? When you have your energetic grid set up, and the energy is just flowing. When we live in static spaces, it's incredibly useful to set up a grid, to configure the energy so that the energy flows. When we have an anchored position in life, the energy is great because we feel stable, we feel anchored. But sooner or later, the energy is going to become stagnant, too static, and the energy is going to start dying around us, especially if we are in isolation. Generally speaking, when one lives in a static space, there is a barrier between us and nature, between the flow of natural energy, outside, sunlight, fresh air, ionic, charged, phases of matter, ground, sand, clays, earth, roots, minerals, the animating forces of life. It's great to configure our spaces so that we can bring back the flow into our life. One of the things that you can expect from flow is that you will create a new homeostatic field that will engender high levels of vitality, which will help you circulate energy within. These energies are so ooshy gooshy whoosh. Woski. Over the past few years, I've been practicing minimalism, and I love it. It's allowed me to travel more lightly, and I can spend more time in nature. More recently, I've actually been spending more time statically in one space, and I started noticing something, especially because of COVID, right? I spent more time inside than I ever imagined I would. Let's jump into these positive configurations. Number 1, my personal favorite, candles. I love candles. My personal favorite is actually the 3-wick crackling candle. I love big candles with natural scents. Now, the trick is with the candle, you have to light them. Having a candle for ambiance that's one level, but you really want to light the candle. So in the case of the 3-wick, you want to light it. I have it on essentially almost every day. If you have any allergies or any kids, you know your life. Configure it accordingly. But yeah, the 3-wick candle, I love it. You don't have to buy a 3-wick candle. You can buy the single wick. But a 3-wick candle, why is it so special? It's bigger. It draws more attention. It's brighter. There's more light. There's more fire. What's so great about fire? Well, fire reminds us about life, the origins of life, primordial energy. Fire represents the soul. It represents action. It represents life. When you have fire with you, it feels as though you have a person there. It feels as though there's this beingness. It feels as though there's life with you, even when you're alone. Fire actually resonates on the level of a companion. I love fire. I love candles. Candles are my absolute favy. After candles, I would use incense. Incense are fantastic too. Incense, obviously there's going to be more insensual vapor or smoke. I love that too. It definitely helps with the mystical vibe, and it definitely helps for purification, and the visual is just really, really healing and very exciting. I picked the incense that's fantastic for you. My favorite is definitely Nag Champa. I'm a fan of Nag Champa. I can't get away from it. It's like my favorite. Even if I don't use them, I love having a few boxes of Nag Champa. They actually resonate at a higher frequency. You can also just have a few boxes and stack them beautifully somewhere, and it will be a beautiful decorative purification piece as well. A nice, beautiful reminder of who you are. While we're on the subject of fire, another great thing to have in your space to keep the flow of energy and to bring the natural energies back into a static space. Wood. Wood is so amazing. You don't have to have wood that you actually burn, but having beautiful pieces of wood. Now, tables and chairs, it really just depends on you, do count, but it really depends on how much it feels like wood to you. Some tables and chairs don't really resonate with wood, either because it's outdated to you, or it doesn't have that etheric quality, it doesn't feel elf-like, it doesn't feel sun-like, it doesn't feel beach-like. Some of us need a particular resonance to really project the energy into our eyes, and so we can actually feel it. Otherwise, it just starts feeling like a table or a chair. But the kind of wood I was actually speaking about is a piece of wood, maybe a piece of your favorite cut wood, a wood you love to smell, wood that looks beautiful when it's split, a fine beech wood, some reclaimed wood from the ocean, 250 pieces of Palo Santo that you can put in a beautiful bowl or a seashell to magnify its radiance. Now that we've left wood, we've left fire, let's go into water. The seashells. Seashells! Woski! Seashells are super amazing for raising your vibe. I highly recommend you collect seashells if it feels ethical and happy to you. Seashells are an amazing addition to any environment. You can set up a plate, or you can hang them, you can have them faced open, you can put them in jars. Seashells are very amazing for reminding us of the ocean. I highly recommend you bring seashells into your life. Starfish, sea snail shells. All of these are amazing shells to purify the energy. I personally love abalone. Abalone is fantastic. I love those seashells. I have a large collection of seashells as well as sand. I highly recommend sand. I have magnetic sand. I literally go out of my way, and I personally actually collect my own magnetic sand. I take a huge magnet with me to the ocean, and I collect magnetic sand on the beach, and you can display that in your space. I highly recommend having it with you. Now we're creating this amazing chi flow. It's highly amazing. Oh, since we were mentioning wood before, one of the things you can also do is have wood flooring. Beautiful wood paneling, wood flooring. The configuration does matter. It's going to be nice either way, I believe, especially with today's modern standards. However, the configuration matters. The better the configuration, the happier you're going to be. Because the configuration, it enhances or it multiplies the effect of having wood. And there's some beautiful, unique wood experiences that you can have there. Maybe like notches. Whatever it is to you, the golden colors, there's all kinds of ways that it can happen. Wood flooring makes people happy. I like wood flooring. It's actually pretty exciting. It resonates, it's easy to clean, it's easy to see when it's not clean. It's fun to clean, actually, and it's quick to clean. And it's always a beautiful result when you're walking on it. You can't put too much pressure on wood. Wood is kind of delicate. It really just depends on the way that it's done. But yeah, wood is great. I love wood. Wood will make you feel happy, at rest, and at peace. Oh my, the radiance. Ooh, oh my goodness. Another thing that will help you keep your frequencies tuned high is metal. Raw metal. Not necessarily a steel pipe. This is going to be, it's not resonant because it's developed to do something else. It's been reconfigured. The energies there to actually create harmony with you. So find raw ore or metals that have been worked to remind you of energy, vitality, that sync the energy with you. One of my favorite metals, I love hematite and I love copper. I love platinum. I love pyrite. I love and I love silver. You can place these in your space. I highly resonate with copper. I work with electric energy. I work with gale forces. I work with magnetism a lot. So copper really resonates with me, as well as fulgurite. I highly recommend, if that resonates with you, perhaps you'd like to practice or work with those energies in your space. Other minerals, we gotta go to the salt rock lamp. The salt rock lamp, there's claims about the salt rock lamp, and I can't actually vouch for them. I guess, we do activate things when we activate our beliefs and we change the function of energies around us. It's been said that salt rock lamps don't actually get hot enough to purify air. I'm not at that level of research capability, primarily because I don't enjoy those sorts of facilities. And it's, something we'll perhaps do at a later date. I'm not really interested in that level of alchemy, but I did appreciate, the information that I did find about it. That said, a salt rock lamp, the Himalayan rock salt, still nevertheless, very healing, very beautiful, very charming, very alluring. The sunset, it's like taking a sunset with you. Wherever you are, not that you're going to carry it around, but in your place, in your dwelling, you're going to have a sunset inside. And you can have as many sunsets as you want, and you can have a huge sunset. So, I highly recommend taking that salt with you. Salt is reactive to moisture. So, if depending on your living configuration, the layout of your dwelling, if you're really close to a bathroom, the salt will react. The metals will react. So be mindful of steam. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I almost forgot. We did water, right? Did we do water? Yeah, we did water, didn't we? Yeah, because we went to the ocean. We went to the seashells, right? How could I forget? Oh my goodness. You definitely want a water fixture. You definitely want a water element. This is huge. You have no idea how happy you will be if you have a water element. If you live in an apartment or a house or wherever you are, a hut, a water element is huge. It does a lot for the soul. It does a lot for feeling pure and clean. It does a lot for vitality. If you just have a balcony, then you can go to your local hardware store and you can actually get a fountain. I highly recommend you get a fountain. Get a beautiful one to you. You can get one with a lion head on it, or any one that resonates with you, and you can just put that on your balcony. Everyone normally has a plug on their balcony in the modern day, and you can actually fill it with water, and you're going to be able to have that trickling, that fountain sound the entire day. Now, if you live somewhere where it's warm, it's going to dry up over time. And also, you want to use distilled water, and I know that may get expensive for some people, but you want to use water that is clean, because as the water dries around the bowl of your fountain, there will be calcification. So if you want to maintain the beauty of your fountain, definitely use RO water or distilled water when filling your fountain. And it's huge. It's actually really huge. Like, water falling, the fountain of life is actually synonymous with peace. And I don't mean synonymous with feeling poetically. I mean actually in feeling, actually in resonance, actually in life. Another thing you would want in your space is plants. You definitely want to add some plants in your life, especially those that are easy to keep with you. Now, some of us are more skilled at caring for plants than others. I highly recommend succulents, because succulents, they're very manageable, and there's lots of content on the internet that you can actually follow up with that will help you with succulents. You can speak to the gardener or steward or earth being at your local nursery or community garden, co-op, or you can find a private plant seller. These places are really cool. They're right under the nose, and for some, just completely have a blast. It's super fun, it's super informative, and it's gonna feel like the thing you already knew about that you just hadn't been to. And it's gonna feel like home. Please add plants to your residence, and you're gonna be so happy with your high vibe, happy, boosting lifestyle configurations. Okay, now that we mentioned plants, let's jump into some multi or amalgam feelings. Some things that are sourced up. Instruments. Instruments have a combination of influences. We have metal, we have wood, we have sound. It's a new element, right? Everything is vibrating, so everything has a sound. But it's really cool because these are tools of the etherdom. And you're gonna love it because you'll be plussing up the radiance. A guitar is really happy to be around. A hang drum, ooh, or a space drum, ooh. A saxophone, oh, yes. A wooden flute, oh my goodness. The piano, I love a piano, and one of my personal favorites, an electric keyboard. You can get a pine needle, spirit drum. You can get some singing bowls, ooh, yes. Don't forget a tuning fork. Oh. Yoga mats are also a great addition to the space for energy. Even if you're not using it, I would highly recommend having a yoga mat. It's like a magic carpet. You can just sit on it and it will bring you into that space. And I also, for this, I recommend a Buddha. Buddha's cool. You don't have to be Buddhist to appreciate Buddha, but you can appreciate the resonance. I highly recommend the stone one. There's something about the stone one. It looks like it reminds you of like a pumice stone. It's large, it looks spongy and rocky. And there's hardly any, you can hardly make out any of the face or any facial feature, any particular features on this rock, save for the position. And, find the Buddha that's right for you. Buddha, the figure, it actually reminds us of this oneness state and oneness with nature. And I think that's why that path resonates with so many. It's about being one with self and nature. And it brings peace to us. Also, you'll like it because when people enter your space, they'll automatically sense the resonance. And they'll go, okay, like this is definitely that space. I'm feeling it. Another thing that you can add to the space, crystals, minerals, crystals. I love crystals. I work with crystal energies, so I actually take it to the next level. Crystals are really cool. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of participants in the world of crystals. It's a world that's like there, but you wouldn't know about it unless you walked in. It's like even if you saw it, you wouldn't know what it meant because you have to go in. If you go in, it's a different experience. Everything changes. So, definitely bring crystals in your life. At least one if you wanted to. The one that resonates with you. I'm not going to say one to choose because I'm an energy healer and I play with energy and I work with energy and I'm quite the adept. So I know what's best for you is the one that actually makes you feel like you're connected to energy. But not like you're connected to energy. You're going to feel the energy. You'll know. You can also add some spiritual texts into your space or self-help texts in your space that make you feel happy. Now let's jump into the actual configuration of the space with regards to the layout. We mentioned the wood flooring before. Big windows. Can I say it anymore? Huge, gigantic, beautiful windows. Huge windows make people feel happy. They have to face the sunlight. They have to let sunlight in. The bigger the windows, the better. Shutters tend to bring windows alive, but if you have the right kind of blinds, it tends to work as well. Windows everywhere. We will be mentioning the mirror of light. We'll be talking about that on another transmission. It's super important, and we'll talk about that later, but that's having lots of natural light pouring into your bathroom. You definitely want tons of natural light pouring into your bedroom, pouring into your bathroom. It's super nice. Okay. I think we got everything. The layout. We mentioned the layout. Make sure the layout is open in your space. It has to be greatly configured. I will mention this because it's really important. You want high ceilings. I will mention this because it's very important. You want high ceilings. At least 10 feet minimum. Big minds need high ceilings. When you go outside, how high is the ceiling? There isn't one. So some of us are going to feel claustrophobic, and we're going to feel less happy. We'll feel crunched. We'll feel compressed. We may not be thinking about it directly because we're not aware of the configuration, but having low ceilings compress our energy, especially those of us who are creative, really intelligent and blossoming and expanding. You'll be much more likely to have an awakening. to your true self and to the divine, to the cosmos with these configurations in place. I guarantee you it's almost... Is it inevitable? I don't know. I think it's right there. We're blessing up the radiance. So like we said, the configuration, this also means you need plenty of space. So you want to have plenty of amenities too. When you start feeling like you have everything that you need, you actually begin to open up because you have bandwidth back. Because in the back of your mind are programs running about how much you need. When you finally sense that you have the things that you need, and you're happy, and you feel like you have a home. And there's levels to this. And there's levels to this. You will have an awakening. Because it requires a lot of free energy to open up. Not only does it require a lot of free energy to open up, when one has all that they need, they start forgetting who they were, and they start embodying a new beingness. The bandwidth, the concerns, all of the vibrational, psychic archives are now dumped, erased, deleted, and that frees up so much space that one now has the level. The level is so nice. The level allows one to open back up to the infinite path. Perception becomes one state, and one state becomes the path. Perception of the path is of the utmost importance. So as you float up, you will sense these things. You will become more aware to these energies. So please vibe out, because some of you will actually be able to bypass having an eye or a foot in the new realm. Will help you create a life that is more holistic. It will help you make peace the center of your continuum. It will help you make health the center of your vibe. It will help you live a more exciting, pragmatic, wild, fully radiant, fully vivid, orgasmic, enorgic, continuum. So it's safe to say that aesthetic does mean something. The materials, the artisan work, the upgrades, they do affect our affinity to self. Make sure you attain the level so that you can experience your higher nature, the higher lived you. You're worth it. We're plussing up the radiance. We want flow in our space, so the layout, it matters. We want tons of light pouring into our bathroom. Like I said, we'll have the transmission about the mirror of light. But the reason you want tons of natural light pouring into your bathroom, especially at the right angle, is because that's the only place most people actually look at themselves. Naked and full-bodied, in proportion. And there's a specific resonance that happens in the bathroom. It's a very water. It's a place where energy is transmuted. There's lots of water involved in the bathroom. It's cleaner in the bathroom. It's refreshing in the bathroom. Having light penetrate your eyes is also a great stimulant. You'll see your natural eyes. You'll wear less makeup, perhaps. You will have healthier habits. And if you don't have natural light in your bathroom, like I said, we'll have a transmission about this. Essentially, what will happen is you won't understand how attractive you really are. Therefore, you will compensate. You'll make lower level decisions about who you are because you won't understand your higher resonance. It's so terrible when this happens to beings. Gods, goddesses, tribe. We are meta. Mindfully. Please understand. Please understand. We're Woski. Raising the vibe to a whole nother level. You're gonna love it. Each one of these frequencies that you add to your grid will activate you. Each one of them will act as a node. Not only will they help you maintain a new homeostasis, but they will allow you to reach for something higher. Why? Because you will sense a new paradigm, a new level in a higher grid, a new form. Be intentional about your awakening as much as you possibly can. And don't forget the embodiment. I mean, we could go into everything. Shall I go into the toothbrush? Shall I go into look for the highest vibrational equivalent, or even look for the highest holistic equivalent of everything that you have, and transmute the energy, either omit it or update it. Switch out the frequency, and you will share. Shampoos, soaps, trash can, the paint. There's a lot of considerations to make it so much fun plussing up everything. Shout out to the isness. We out here floating on a cloud of gratitude. We love you.